Why should I mentor you if you aren't ready for it? Why should I mentor you if you aren't even willing to realize that you might have a need for change? Should I do it for your to save yourself, or should I do it for everyone else? Not everyone, but those that otherwise would be affected. Like Seneca did with Nero, where he um, uh, took on the uh, responsibility to mentor Nero in order to in his best aim to make him into a good person, so that he wouldn't misuse his power and instill suffering. Why would I want to take that road if I know that I am gonna be the victim for trying to take why would I want to take responsibility for your uh, infant infantiliness, or that was kind of like perhaps unnecessary, but why would I want to take responsibility for your uh, ego if your ego is gonna project and instill suffering on me and all those around you before you realize that before you even are able to realize that you have a serious problem with ego? Why would I want to take the that difficult road to instill understanding in in the in that kind of ego? Why would I want to? And if I were if I were to try, would I want to do it with the same method that everyone else have? um what is the word for yeah, why would I want to do it with the same method that made everyone else fail? Why would I only want to use my words, my body language, my emotion, my sober emotion? Why would I only want to talk sense into your ego, into your mind? Why would I just only want, why should I only use sound, speech? Why should I, if I if I know that everyone before me failed? It's kind of like, uh, where I started, that perhaps another talk. But why would I want to follow the same method that that everyone else fails on? That's kind of like, in physics, where everyone is that follow the string theory, when even the best ones that carried their whole professional lives in string theory, everyone, when you hear from those people that no one understands string theory, not even the best ones. And if one of the best ones were to actually understand string theory, they would actually not understand it. When you hear something, when you're a noob and hear something like that, at least for me, it was kind of like, well, why the fuck would I want to go down that path? Well, that seems like that seems like a reason not to go on that journey, and a rather good argument for the search to continue from some other in some other domain or some other from some other perspective. And it's kind of like the same with this uh, culture, egomaniac culture of our modern times. Why would I wanna constrain myself to 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 ordinary methods when I know that there's a kind of like a super magic method for mm, reaching beyond the ego down to the conscional, uh, what do you want to call it, observer of being that is beyond and more essential than what the ego defines as uh, reality. Why would I want to constrain myself if this most serious problem, if one of the most serious problems uh, that we might face as a community on this planet, if one of the most serious problems ever, and perhaps most urgent in all of its results around uh, how, in all of those results that are plaguing our reality of life. Why would I want to constrain myself to when I know that there's a better way? Hmm. Is that perhaps why I'm willing to take the blame, to take the rejection, to take the to is that why I'm able to accept, or should I reframe it? Is is perhaps my understanding that there is a much more um, uh, hopeful way of reaching beyond the ego of our culture that it actually destroys the our home and ability to coexist. Is is it perhaps because I, according to my best existential understanding, know that there is another way? Is it perhaps because of that, in relation to this Seneca method, this Seneca, uh, uh, this drive that he had? Is it perhaps because I can relate? Is it perhaps your unconscious? Is it perhaps so that you are unconscious to my effort to make you more conscious? Could it be that I am willing to take all your fucking blame? Not willing, but um, well, if it's necessary for f- I don't wanna take the weight of it all. But if when when everyone fails to reach beyond the ego, when everyone seems to fail, well, what the fuck? someone has to try it. Someone has to try with, with the things that work. Mm. It's about our existence. It's kind of like, well, ultimately, it's kind of like, are we gonna exist, or are we not gonna exist? And if we are to exist, how the fuck should we be do? How the fuck should we do to not find ourselves in the totalitarian uh, hell? I don't do this because I want some. I don't want the power. I don't want. I don't need. I don't actually don't need most of what is offered when everything is at its best. At this point, I actually don't care. But I don't have. I don't have. I don't have much to do, and I have a method. I found something that works, and no one seems to be able to speak their mind of those that knows. At least a lot of people doesn't. Why is that? Is that perhaps because you get scorned, you get all this rejection, you get all this weight? It's kind of like you get pariah for. It's kind of like a struggle, as I see it. It's kind of like a struggle where the ego of the most egomaniacs are forming some kind of super ego together to uh, uh, instill a conflict on the one person that is talking about a method for reaching beyond the ego. And then the super ego does every fucking divide and conquer trick in the book, just in order to not uh, be not just in order to not have to accept that there's something wrong with with themselves. Just in order to, it's kind of like the superego of the world leaders and a lot of people in power. It's kind of like they are forming some kind of super ego in order to not have to realize that the only control we actually have when it comes to change is change in control, control in order to our own personal uh, changes, or should I perhaps say our own uh, minds, our own selves. It's kind of like the superego forms this this war machine robot wall against the the few that actually just points to the ego and says there's something more than what there's something more and you haven't realized yet.